All right, welcome back to the Setback Now Forward e-course.
Hey there, and welcome back. This is Pierce.
I want to talk to you about something really important. When making your comeback, what's going to give you enough power and certainty and motivation is to start differently than you did the last time. Because the last thing men want to do is repeat any pattern, right? And I want to talk to you about the courage to start with why. We grew up and been conditioned to believe that you have to do, and perform in order to succeed. You get the girl, you get the money, you get the house, you live happily ever after, and suddenly you're the man. And that model is completely flawed and failed for most people, because even guys who have gotten the money, the success, the women, the children, they're now spending the rest of their life holding all of that up, having to grind and sacrifice and push themselves to success to take care, provide, and protect all of what they've created, their legacy. And for many, they collapse or they flatline and they get bored, they get burned out, or they just get exhausted, because you can't sustain success by grinding and pushing and forcing, or let alone your ego, right? So I call it the courage to start with why, because it's really something that you're here to do. You have infusion around it. You have inspiration around it. It's meant to be like that. Inner knowingness, you just know this is going to happen, and the best thing you can do is allow it to happen and keep taking action. So the courage to start with why. Let's still get a couple diagrams real fast. Most men live here constantly chasing X dream or X goal. We get it, we feel good about ourselves, and then it's not enough. We need something more. You ever felt that way? I can tell you a lot of guys confuse that lack of, I need something more, different, new, because I'm bored with it, or I already accomplished it, and now what? There has to be more. And we're always chasing and trying to consume. And there's a big reason for that. Most of that's not really purpose driven, because purpose is all fulfilling. So anything you do, you're going to be fulfilled. And you may want to expand or grow that, but you're not in need of more when you live on purpose. There's a big distinction. But what I want to challenge you here to is I want you to start with why. Why do you really do what you do now? And I'm going to invite you to start looking at some of the pain in your life, because that's the ultimate motivator. It's pain. You had somebody tell you at some point in your life you'd never make it, you weren't good enough, you weren't worthy, you weren't good looking enough, you'd never be a good football player, whatever it was, something that really turned you on, and all of a sudden you're just like, no, I'm going to step up and show up. For some of you, you've been told you've been great at this your whole life, and you got really good at it, but maybe it didn't work later on. But I always like to look for those defining moments in life, both painful and pleasurable, that really drives you to do what you do. It's that hidden force behind everything. And it's partly why you're here to do what you do. When guys come to me and they always say, well, how do I do this? I'm trying to become a movie director or a producer or a football player, or I just want to make 7 figures. How do I do that? And I'm going to tell you the answer I tell everybody. If you are looking for a how-to, you are so disconnected from what needs to happen for you to achieve that goal. Because it is not a how-to. It's not, here are the 5 steps, go follow and go do it. The man behind those steps is what makes the difference, and that's what I want to connect you to. The how-to is completely irrelevant. When you are absolutely certain and attracted and in love with somebody, you know how to proceed. You might be nervous or you might have anxiety around it, but who cares? That's got nothing to do with how-to. You can be scared and know how to do something. It's not the steps. So let's reverse that cart in front of the horse and look at, why does it really matter? Okay, because when it does really matter, you're going to know what you need to do, and you're going to know how you need to do that to be able to build this empire called family, money, business, spirit, health, relationships, travel, whatever it is you're wanting to rebuild or create for the first time, your legacy, right? So I want you to get that your why lives in your family. Your why lives in your financial life. It lives in your business. It lives, of course, it lives in spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and it lives in your health. Right? You can see that I'm here to inspire, to make a difference, to be a catalyst for men. You can see that in the way that I walk, talk, how I eat, how I treat others, right? My purpose shows up in all areas. For most men, that's not true. Why they do what they do might show up in business, and it might show up in their money, but in their family, their spirit, and the way they treat their body, their purpose actually isn't showing up there. And that's why they're so unhappy and so unsatisfied. When they're done making money or business, whether it's going well or not, they come home to their family, they're burdened. They try to go to the gym, they're tired. Something's always off. So what I want you to get this time, the courage to live here means You do what you do because it's who you are, not to become someone you think you need to become. Big distinction. I want to reverse engineer everything for you. You do it because you are. When people say, well, why do you do so many videos? And why are you always going to the gym and eating so well? And you take care of your family and you're doing this. It's who I am. That's why I'm put on this planet. That's what I do. And I don't do anything else other than what's in alignment with why I am here. And when you do that, everything you touch is going to start working. You're going to start producing results with it because it's in alignment. When you're clear on your why, you have the courage to start here. You build everything around it. You'll know what to do, you'll know how to do it, and you'll see that you get fulfilled. No matter what you do, what area of your life, your why is still working. Okay? Now, here's the last thing I want to share with you, and I'm going to send you on a couple action assignments. Right here is a chart, and I found this to be true since I was 13. It's called time over value. When we start a journey, you made a decision, you want to make a comeback, you want to improve your life, you want to be a better man, whatever it is for you. In the beginning, we get really excited when we start our journey. We get really happy about it and fired up. And then somewhere here in the middle, along the journey, we start to get stressed or tired, burned out, distracted, low energy, get sick, whatever it is. And our energy takes a dip. And really what's happening here is we start disconnecting from our why. Companies that start out really empowered and they make a lot of money, and all of a sudden their success takes a dip, it's almost always because they've lost connection to their why. And what they do is they try to figure out, well, what do we need to do and how do we need to do it? And we need to change the marketing and change the sales team. And that's rarely it. They got to go back to, why do you exist? Why do you matter? What are you really here to do right now? And then when they do, it starts to come back up. Okay? But there's two places when we are most excited in our lives, and this is completely the masculine mind. When we start a journey, when we start dating someone new we're really excited about, emotions are an ultimate high. 6, 7, 8 months, a year into it, 5 years into it, 10 years into your marriage, all of a sudden, not so excited and passionate anymore. And then when we start to lose that person we love, all of a sudden, our value for it completely goes up, and now we're motivated, now we're excited, now we're committed to change. But that can only be possible if you know why you're doing it. Why does it really matter? That's the big piece here. And you got to be radically honest with yourself, and you can't lie about it. What I tell men is, if you just want to date and have sex, you have to be 100% transparent and clear about that, because if you really aren't present and connected to your why in a relationship, it's not going to work. And it's no good for her and it's no good for you. So if you just want to date, date. If you want to be a man of commitment and find one woman, great, lead with that. That's your purpose. Because when you lead with that, you're going to find you're more trusting, the results go up, and you attract the very things that you're leading with into your life. Okay? So what's your why? What matters most to you? What keeps you up at night? What can you can't stop thinking about it because it builds this fire and this energy. And then start to write out statements. I am here because, I matter because, and I'm going to do what I need to do because of why.